All right, tonight for the hour, we're going to highlight a serious divisive problem that persists all over this country, mainly among Democrats, their friends, and big tech, the media mob. Time and time again, these powerful individuals, and they are powerful, they create rules they themselves don't follow. Now, some call it hypocrisy. Others refer to it as a double standard. In reality, it's fraud, deception for the purpose of political gain and power. It's about forcing your kids to wear masks during recess even, while adults pack into a crowded arena, not a mask in sight. It's about Twitter, Facebook. They censor the very true Hunter Biden laptop report while allowing the fake, salacious claims in the dirty dossier, the Russian dirty dossier that Hillary paid for. Oh, that could circulate all day, every place, everywhere. It's about Joe Rogan becoming enemy number one for having an open dialogue and daring to ask questions that I guess are inappropriate. Rachel Maddow, she faces zero repercussions for deliberately lying to her viewers about, Trump-Russia collusion for how many years? It's about fake news CNN obsessively condemning January 6th, the riot that took place, but then never talking about the 574 riots in the summer of 2020 that left dozens of people dead. They characterized those riots as mostly peaceful, even when the city's burning behind their reporter right over their shoulder. It's about Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi recently made comments about the Holocaust, minimized the horrors of what was racist genocide. Here's what she said. Take a look.
Then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
Ethnicity.
It's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going
it's
after
not, it's
Jews
not about
and
race. But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, that's what we have to black people
see them as white.
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley.
Now, she was right on the evil portion of her comments, but of course she was wrong on everything else. Now, she has since acknowledged it, rightfully apologized, clarified her remarks. But think about this. If Whoopi Goldberg were a conservative or a Republican, wouldn't she be fired already, or at the very least being bombarded with boycotts and serious repercussions? You know, on this program and over the entire course of my career, I've steadfastly refused to join calls to boycott and fire and have people canceled. Now, look, I've known Whoopi for years. We haven't talked recently, I'll say that. Haven't gone back on the show in a long time. And we never agreed politically. I simply see her being inarticulate and maybe not even understanding the evil ideology that was Hitler and Nazi Germany. She's not anti-Semitic from the person that I knew, and I read people pretty well. And it's obvious her comments were grossly inaccurate. She's rightly apologized. She's clarified her remarks. I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I just believe in second chances, and I'm pretty confident she's never going to make that same mistake again. Yeah, and I know nobody at The View would ever do this for a conservative ever. Hell would freeze over. But here's the great thing about living in a free country. If you don't like what Whoopi Goldberg said, guess what? Change the channel. If you don't like her show, change the channel. You don't like Stephen Colbert, Kimmel, Fallon, constantly shilling for Democrats, telling bad jokes, don't watch it. No one is forcing you to. You don't have to tune in. Censorship via big government, corporations is never the answer. Tonight, I'm calling on everyone on all these other networks. If you're on ABC, NBC, CBS, MSDNC, fake news, CNN, you need to denounce censorship and stop with the boycotts and stop with the feigned moral outrage. And you know what? None of you are perfect either. And when you make a mistake, you should get the same forgiveness if you're sincere in your apology. That's never going to happen. Dishonesty hacks, you know, the Humpty Dumptys of the world, they love censorship. They want Fox off the air. They want conservatives on talk radio silenced. They want Republicans out of power forever. And they detest even the sight of Donald Trump. They detest competition, especially because they're losing so badly. So they don't care about truth, fairness, freedom, forgiveness, none of that. That's why just a few hours after Joe Rogan apologized, which I don't think he should have done, for potentially spreading misinformation, the media continued to attack him. In Joe Rogan's case, I'm arguing he didn't need to apologize at all. The left wants to squash all dissent. They won't stop until everyone that disagrees with them is silenced. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.